Hi everyone, this is Ryan Gray with Electric Brewing Supply. In recent years we've been a little absent on our video, but a lot of updates have been coming out and I've been getting a lot of calls about some of the latest updates. So I wanted to kind of touch base on one major one. That is the BCS unit is now loaded with BCS firmware 4.0, and I've had a lot of people having troubles trying to get onto it. So I wanted to go over how to get onto your BCS 4.0 control unit, and we'll go from, I'm actually going to go from a reset, completely blank slate setup to ready to talk to it. So what we're going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tell my computer to hook up to the wireless adapter from the TP-Link that we use. So this is, like I said, factory reset, so it's going to still say TP-Link. If you're doing a system fresh from us, it's going to say eBrew Supply. The methods are still going to be the same, just different passwords. So in this case, it's TP-Link. So I'm going to go ahead and hit connect. It's going to ask for the password. I've already plugged it in, so it's going to just go ahead and connect. With Windows, it's going to be a little confused because Windows itself is looking for internet. It's not going to find it because we're not connected. But I'm going to go ahead and point my web browser to it. So what I'm doing is I'm pointing my web browser to the router, the TP-Link router. So when I get my screen up, I'm going to have my whole user tools here. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this up as client. Client's the most best method to do. This allows the unit to talk to your home wireless network, talk to the internet, etc. With BCS 4.0, internet is kind of handy to have. So we're going to go ahead and click client. We're just using the quick setup wizards here. So we're going to go ahead and hit client. The unit's going to then scan my property for all the wireless networks that are available. And then from there, I've got my list. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it to connect to one of our networks that we have nearby. So most homes, you're going to have your one antenna and that'll be it. Obviously, we're on a rather large property with a whole bunch of homes nearby, so we've got lots of networks going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and select one. I'm going to punch in the wireless network's password, and we'll go ahead and continue. It's going to ask to reboot. We'll go ahead and reboot it. And so now we're just going to have to wait about 30 seconds. So the unit will take it can take up to about a minute and a half to connect, depending on your wireless signal strength. In my case, the strength was strong enough that it shouldn't take too long, but it can take to about 30 seconds to 45 seconds to fully connect, because what the unit is doing is the same thing as your laptop. It's pinging the Wi-Fi and registering itself with the network. So obviously, my property, we don't use 192.168.0, so that's going to flag as nothing's going good there. So now the adapter is connected. The next step is to actually unpower the BCS unit itself. So pull the power plug from the BCS and plug it back in, which I'm going to go do real quick. And then that way the BCS unit refreshes its network addresses. So now that we've done that, I'm going to load up an app from bcsfinder.ebrewsupply.com. We're going to load BCS Finder for Windows MSI Installer. It's important you grab this one for 4.0, as the old version will not work. I know our documentation says to use the old version. Obviously with 4.0 they changed some stuff around, and so the new stuff is required. So you have to install this. Obviously I've already done it, so we're going to boot up the application here, and then we're going to hit scan. Now we've got my fermentation control unit and our demo lab right there. And then I have the new one that I just connected right here. So this is the brand new BCS unit I just connected. So now we can go into here and set it and go into networking. And in here we want to update the settings, but there's a couple key factors we don't want to do. First of all, we're going to leave it DHCP enabled. But what I am going to do is I'm going to put in an IP address that is on my network. So we're going to go .1, and I'm going to put it right next to my other BCS unit. So now I'm going to save it. That's all I need to do to save it. Just click off. So next time it resets, which I'm not going to do right now, next time it resets, the BCS unit will if it doesn't detect a network, it'll automatically switch to this IP address. In this, you can also leave it as DHCP enabled or disable it. But the next step is the part that it'll differ by every system, basically. Every router has its own methodologies to do this. Obviously, we have our own here. So what we're going to do, and I can't vouch for Netgear, I can't vouch for PFs or for Linksys or any of the other systems, but what they will have, if you go into the DHCP server settings, is they will have static mappings or reserved addresses or let's see. So when you look at my screen here, I've got a long list of DHCP server settings. The DHCP server is what issues your network addresses to your computers, your cell phones, all those devices that attach. TP-Links has a screen right here. Obviously, we're using this as a client, so it's going to be disabled. But it has this list here that is going to resemble what you'll find in Netgear's server or routers, Linksys routers, ASUS routers, etc. If you have questions on how to address that with your router, you can actually look in the manuals online. But what you're aiming to do is you're aiming to add a reserved address for your particular BCS router. Obviously, in this case, we don't have that particular one. There we go. You're looking to reserve it based off of this MAC address right here. You plug that in. Use the formatting that is preferred by the manufacturer. Go like that. So we're going to go ahead and make these changes real quick. So now we can then reserve it for whatever address we wanted it to be on our network if this were the parent router. Obviously in this case it's just a client, so this device, the TP-Link, does not do anything. All it is passing wireless services. But anyway, that's how you can talk to your BCS unit and do a little preliminary configuration and get her going. There is another version of BCS Finder now for Macintosh, for Mac OS X. So for those that are on Mac, I know that used to be a problem with the old version. It's definitely been addressed in the newer generation of stuff. I also use other applications, but this is designed specifically to make it a little easier for all of you. So if you have any questions, go ahead and feel free to email me at contactus@ebrewsupply.com. And thank you.